what are your advice for, I guess, the clients on how to best work with an agency like yours or any agency?
That's always been something that I think about. I always want to help clients. I want to help them succeed digitally online. But we've had thousands of clients. We have clients with $100,000 a month budgets to $200 a month budgets, and a lot of campaigns work out great and some don't. And sometimes there's just great relationships with clients where the back and forth is there, the clients engage, and it just feels like that campaign always seems to work better. I would say to clients that just because you hired a digital marketing service doesn't mean you shouldn't be engaged. We want, and even a small business that's very busy and maybe they're out and they're doing construction work most of the day, so they can't sit down and talk to their digital marketing strategist, so it's very hard to get the owner of the construction company to tell us about what's going on that day so that we could share it on social media is very difficult. And they just, I think a lot of times they want to say, okay, I'm giving money to this company, they should take care of absolutely everything, and we want to. But if you can find the time, or you can carve out time, or you find an employee on your staff that can work closely with that agency, the campaign just goes 1,000 times better. They just have great information that a strategist isn't going to have. Like, a business has to remember that strategist is also managing other campaigns. Unfortunately, you can't be the only one at $1,000 a month.
They're not an employee. They're not an employee of that company.
Yeah.
They're not there.
No, they're not there. And small businesses are in a difficult spot with digital marketing services because they either they would want a very boutique agency, but they can't afford it. And they probably can't afford having a full-time marketing staff. But they need these services more than anybody.
Right.
So, finding somebody that can work closely with the strategist and provide information to them and answer their questions is just going to make a world of difference. And just be realistic about what you expect. Sometimes a business is quick to say this isn't working, and we just needed a little bit more time to learn from the campaign, and then we'd be there, right? So I think patience is important, and I know it's difficult, but digital marketing, although you can get data right away, as opposed to when you used to put your money into a billboard or a TV commercial and you didn't really get data right away and it was just covering the masses. Digital marketing, you see how many clicks you're getting that day. It still takes time to improve that campaign and get it to a point where it's running efficiently. So it's a little bit of patience and just guiding your strategist and providing information that they can use for your campaign, I think is just vital.
Yeah, that all makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I guess the final question is, hiring so many people so quickly, and then with this whole COVID and the Great Resignation and stuff, I'm having a hard time hiring people. And I'm in the New York City region. I don't know how hard it is to hire people here, but how do you handle employee retention and hiring new people during this time?
Yeah, that's been a lot of my focus lately, is hiring and retaining. And it's kind of, there's been some good and some bad. We're now doing a lot of work from home across the board, and that's opened up the door for us to find talent outside of just our general area, which we used to find really good talent here in Buffalo, and there is really good digital marketing talent, but it's limited, and you're competing against everybody in town to get that really good search engine marketer.
Right.
Now we've opened the gates, and I can get a search engine marketer in San Francisco to work on our team. The salary expectations have increased dramatically in just the last 6 months.
Right.
So as a company, we're trying to adapt to that, right? We can't just argue with it and say, well, no, that's not what we're paying, because you're not going to get anybody good.
So how do you can't just double your client's costs, can you?
No, you can't do that. You got to take it on. You got to take it on the chin.
Okay.
Costs are going to go up, right? You're always looking at that, and costs have gone up everywhere. But you got to get creative with the budget and find ways to and make sure that it's the right employee that deserves that salary, and you have to take it on if you want the right staff. And retention has just been huge for us. Like, when we're in a bad retention period, maybe 3 or 4 strategists at our agency level have just over a couple months have found other opportunities. That causes a lot of damage to an agency. It's hard it's hard to recover quickly from that. And we used to be able to pull somebody in that was right there knocking on the door,
Right.
and now it's not out there as easy anymore. So work from home has been good because we get to go out now, cast a wider net. But my main goal is making sure our employees are happy, feel like they have the right amount of workload, they're getting paid appropriately, and they feel satisfied with their job. And if they're good and they stay, things work out. Things just work out great for us, right? When we get into trouble is when we have good employees that are moving on.
Right.
So as a leader, it's got to be, it's like priority number one now, is making sure the talent is there and they stay for a good period of time. And clients like that. They don't want to,
Right.
they don't want to hear the strategist is leaving, here's my new strategist.
Right.
You know, as much as we try to prevent it.
And I'm sure you lost a nice number of people relative to your company. And like you said, you're doing everything you can, but even if you do everything you can, it's just such a hard market now. So
Yeah.
I think clients expect it also, because every client you probably worked with also had that experience probably. So,
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it any better, and it's good for the employees, very happy for them, but at the same time, I can't imagine this Great Recession type of thing going on forever. Sometimes it has to, burst at some point.
Yeah, you think so, and it probably will. But in the meantime, my focus is if we do lose somebody,
Yeah.
are we making sure that all the information
Right.
is transferred properly? Like, you got to think operationally. Like, okay, you're good. Like you just said, you're going to lose people, right?
Right.
So, are we transferring information properly? Are the clients getting reintroduced the right way? Are we not rushing it? And do we have a good funnel of new employees coming in the door? Like, we have a good recruiter that's
Right.
out looking for people, so that when we get a 2-week notice, maybe in 3 weeks we have somebody in the door instead of 2 months.
Right.
Right, where now that workload got put on someone else's plate,
And they're unhappy.
who's now getting mad about
Yeah.
that, and you just have this cycle. So
Right.
I'm always trying to break that.
Right. I hear that. Cool. I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming out, talking to me about this stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Barry.
Some amazing tips. How could people want to learn more about you, maybe follow you on social, and maybe hit you up if you're looking for a job?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not, overly active on Facebook anymore. I feel like I'm just not as much as I used to be.
So now you're on TikTok mostly. I got it.
Yeah, I'm watching TikTok, but I'm not active on that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, InviewDigital.com, LocalEdge.com. Those are those two companies' websites, and then Hearst is our parent company. So
Awesome.
you can find us there.
Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Barry.